Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be doing a review of the Xiang Flyer 668A4. As you can see here, it's a pretty cool looking, sort of a little bit bigger than a regular Nano, but I'm going to call it a Nano Quad. It's a little bit bigger. I'll show you a comparison here. This is to a Cheerson CX-10A. It's just a shell because I stripped it of its parts, but you can still get the general idea that it's just a little bit bigger. And also the propellers, I can hold one up here, the props on the Flyer are a little bit bigger. So it's a bigger shell and bigger props. However, one thing I was kind of disappointed about is the battery. Actually, let's see if I can, which side can you see it from over here? The battery actually is still a 100 milliamp hour, as you can hopefully see here. It's still 100 milliamp hour, so bigger frame, more power, bigger props, but same size battery. And same size motors, but you know, it's not too bad overall. It comes with a bag of a full set of spare props, 2 blacks and 2 whites, a USB charging cable ending in the 1.25 micro JST connector, and I believe this one is reverse polarity compared to some of the other ones, so just make sure you use this charger that comes with it, or just make sure you double check before you go plug in other chargers or other batteries in. Here's the manual. Calls it the Mini Drone S. It looks like there's another version with a removable prop guard. Really the only thing you need to look at in here is this diagram of the transmitter. Now as for the prop guards, it looks like they might be removable and in the manual and stuff, but they're actually molded straight into the frame, so you cannot take them off. However, I'm sure they don't add much weight at all, and they do pretty decent. They tend to be really bouncy, but they do keep the quad nice and protected. One thing just about this box, this is pretty much the worst box I've ever seen. Like, it's just so flimsy, the plastic that came inside of it, so that's a terrible box. This is the transmitter that comes with, a little funky sort of one. You have your 2 sticks, and they're pretty stiff. The gimbals aren't very good, and they're a little touchy. Not very precise controls on this one. However, they are long enough, I'd say, for a pincher to use, but not very nice sticks overall. Up here on your top bumper, you see left and right. That is your left and right roll trim, so it's kind of weird to be up there. And over here, your forward and backwards pitch trim. There's no yaw trim. And if you, down here, there's also 2 buttons. So you can see this one says flip. You click that and then give input on your right stick in a direction, and it'll do a flip in that direction. And then over here, you have FS. That is your rates. So you start off in low rates, and if you click it, it'll beep twice, and you go into mid rates. Click it again, it'll beep 3 times, and you'll go into high rates. And click it again, you'll go back down to low. And the left stick does click in. If you push in on it, it will click, and that enters Headless Mode. And I'm not sure how that's recalibrated, if it's by the stick movements or when you turn it on. But to recalibrate it, you put both sticks down and to the right, and that's the only method I've found so far. And now I haven't really needed to use any trim. It flies pretty stable. This thing is very fast. It's very aggressive, and it's 3 rates. It's got a nice yaw and a deep pitch. Very similar in flight to the GW008, if you've seen my review on that, or if you have one yourself. Very similar to that, except this one's a little bit more twitchy. I'm sorry, because of the imprecise controller. It's still proportional, but it's less proportional than other ones. So, you know. And as for flight times and charge times, off the stock USB charging cable, it just plugs into the back there. It takes about 25 minutes to charge, so not too bad of a charge time there. But you only get about 4.5 minutes, and I think that's because the heavier frame and the bigger propellers, it does give it, these big props definitely do give it more power than, say, a CX-10. But the battery being the same size, it doesn't last that long. So can measure this real quick here. I've got a CX-10 shell, and let's see. Got my 4 propellers because I had to strip this, so here's the board and the battery, but we should still get the same weight. And the motors there, we get 12.3 grams for a CX-10, and for the Flyer we get 14.1 grams, so it definitely does weigh a bit more, and it might not seem like that much, but for a quad of this size, that is a decent amount of weight, which is why you only get 4 minutes, 15 seconds, 4.5 minutes of flight. Here is the FX10, the currently world's smallest one, so you can see, just to get a quick comparison, I thought I'd include that. You can see it's still so tiny. But a decent sized quad, a little bit better than a regular Nano, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It does nice funnels. But yeah, it's a nice quad overall. I do like the GW008 a little bit more, but this one's cheaper, I believe. So that was it. Let's go check out the indoor flight. Okay, here we are for the flight of the Xiang Flyer 668A4. So let's turn the quad on, turn the remote on, and I'll take it down to the floor here to recalibrate it. Put both sticks down and to the right there. So now let's bring it up and do some close and hovering while it's nice and stable. You see, it's very stable. That's totally hands off. Needs a little bit. It's pretty touchy. But definitely once you get used to it, you can be pretty precise. See, it looks pretty cool. So let's just fly around on low rates. Here is the one constant yaw that it has. It does not change through all 3 rates. It's a little bit disappointing, but you know, at least it's a good fast yaw, not something slow. And then there's the pitch, so pretty low in low rates. You see there. So let's kick it up to medium rates. Now you can see it gets a decent bit faster. And do some nice circuits in mid rates. You see there's a mid rates funnel. Looking pretty good. There's the pitch. Okay, let's go to high rates. There's high rates pitch. You can see very twitchy and fast to respond. And you can get a pretty decent funnel going there. You see nice tight funnels. And it has enough power to pull out of it. Let's do a throttle punch here. See, not too bad for a partially discharged battery. Let's do some headless mode. It's sort of working, but it's definitely mostly off. Okay, let's do some flips. And this one does very nice tight flips. You can see there. Whoops. Hit the ceiling, but it recovered. It actually gained some height. You see, pretty much perfect flips. It actually gives maybe a little bit too much throttle. Very nice dialed in tight flips. See, let's go back to mid rates just to do a little bit more smooth stuff. Actually, let's go to high, or low, I mean. So you can get some smooth footage. Okay, let's test out the prop guards a little. I don't think they protect against the ceiling at all. But it's against the wall a little bit. They're a little bouncy, but yeah, they kind of a little bouncy there, but better than nothing, I guess. Okay, I think that was good enough. I showed everything. So it's coming for a low rates landing here. There you go, sort of a sliding and landing. But there we go, that was my review of the Xiang Flyer 668A4. Pretty nice quad, very aggressive, and I do like it and recommend it. I wouldn't say it's so much for a beginner, just because even in low rates, the controller it's very twitchy, like it goes right to the pitch. It's not more of a smooth transition, and the yaw is full the entire time. And it doesn't fly that long, so maybe something like the DM003 or the GW008 would be a better beginner option, but for intermediate to advanced pilots, definitely a lot of fun. I do recommend it. Please subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.